All right, thank you very much. So basically, I'm just going to give a little bit of introduction before we go more into software development as it is. So let's talk about technology a little bit. Then afterwards, we'll see what areas we're going to cover. I think looking at the amount of time I have, I might make it a kind of brief. So technology basically was designed to make life easier for us, and it has been very useful to us in many ways. Like every sector of the society today relies on one form of technology or the other. Every single business, organization, everywhere in the world probably needs an app or a website or lots of software to effectively communicate with its clients. So every person with internet access uses lots of apps and websites every day. But the fact is, technology actually makes life easy. We have come to embrace technology. Everybody here has one way or the other relied on technology. Gone are the days where you do a lot of manual things. A lot of things have been made really easy for us. But now, the fact that technology has actually come to make things easier for us still brings some sort of challenge as well to us as humans. In a way, it has affected the labor market because robots are replacing humans in the global workspace. If you look at the way things are now, before they employ people to work on some kind of complex calculations and do some kind of really complex things, they term these people as really smart people. They might have gone through some professional training to be able to do some of these computations and calculations. But now we have software that would do it with 100% accuracy. If you look at factories today, you hardly see factories that are looking for factory workers these days because a lot of their processes are automated. You have machines doing everything, like everything is just automated. Because the fact is, many of the things humans are capable of doing, robots can do them better. Like many software applications today that carry out the complex calculations that humans were employed to do in the past, they do them better than the humans would actually have done them. And they don't make mistakes because whatever you program into a software is what it gives back to you. The way you program a robot is the way it responds to you. So basically, it poses a challenge to us as professionals. And the fact is, because of the increasing global technological advancement, there is a need for humans these days to possess digital skills. If you look at what happened last year when the COVID-19 pandemic thing came up, a lot of people were displaced from their jobs, not because they were not good at their jobs, but it was more like there was a kind of change in the way work was being done. And only those who were really, really essential to bringing profit to organizations were kept back. Meanwhile, while people were losing their jobs, a lot of people were getting jobs, mostly people that had digital skills. You would see a lot of designers, a lot of developers, a lot of tech people basically finding a lot of vacancies for them to apply for. Meanwhile, so many people were being displaced from their jobs. So that's just to tell you that companies are looking to hire people with digital skills these days. Gone are the days where you say you just graduated from school and job is waiting for you. No, these days they want to see how much of digital skills you possess. And the fact is, having these skills actually pay a lot. If you look at how tech companies pay these days, you see that there is not so much of hard labor you're doing. It's mostly brain power and mostly you being able to logically reason out how to solve problems. And you're getting paid really, really big for doing some of these things. So I think it's a good thing if you've not ventured in any of these digital spaces before, it's a good thing that you're here today because I believe that after our discussion today, you would take a step in the right direction to see how you can harness technology to your own advantage. So today we are going to be looking briefly at web development. We'll look at digital marketing a little bit, then I'll do a small practical session where I'll just show us some platforms where we can actually start up a career in these fields that we decide to go into, basically. So what I'll be showing you mostly will be how you can get the required knowledge, how you can get certifications, so that when you see job offers as related to what you want to do, you can actually apply for them confidently, knowing that you'll be able to deliver. Um, you'll be able to deliver substantially in such work environments. So let me go straight to web development. What exactly is web development? Web development is the process of creating websites, web applications, and all of that. Web applications are applications that are hosted on the internet. Like, they need the internet to run. If you look at Facebook, for example, or Google, like, there is nothing about doing a Google search if you don't have internet connection, because there is nowhere to get results from. So something like the Google platform needs to run on the internet. Facebook, that a lot of us use these days, actually runs on the internet. Most times you say, oh, I don't have data, so you can't be on Facebook, because you need the internet for you to be able to maybe push out posts or see what people are talking about on Facebook and all of that. So these are web applications because they require the internet to work. Now I'm going to talk about WordPress. WordPress is a content management system used to build and maintain websites. Like, if you are working with WordPress, you don't necessarily write codes. You just put contents together to make a fully functional website. But where I will major basically today will be for those who want to be web developers, software developers. I'm talking of those who are going to be writing codes this time around. So mostly I advise people to start from HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Like, these are basic fundamentals that will help you get started up in web development. Now, I want to just use some kind of real life demonstration to explain how HTML, CSS, and JavaScript work. Now, initially, I told you WordPress is used for putting contents together to make a website. On the other hand, you can use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, like you write codes to also pull up a website. Now, HTML, the full meaning for HTML is hypertext markup language. CSS is cascading style sheet. I'll basically explain how three of them work together. HTML is more of you creating the framework for your website. You write code basically to create a basic framework for what the website would look like. If I'm going to relate it to a building, for instance, if you are doing a building construction, by the time you set up your by the time you set up the blocks, you put together the whole building. I'm talking of without painting now or putting all of the aesthetics to it. That is more like how HTML looks. Like, you have something that works, but there is no beauty in it. Where CSS now comes in is more like to help you style it. Bringing CSS into the code is now like beautifying it. Just like if I relate it to the building, it's like you painting the building now, putting flowers around, making the building really look presentable. That is where CSS comes in. Then JavaScript is used to add functionality, interactivity to your web pages. So relating it to a house analogy again, it's more like where you now have all the fully functional things that should be running in the house properly working. The water system is running fine, the electricity is properly done, and all of that. This is how three of them come together to give you a fully functional website. Like I said, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, they involve writing codes, unlike WordPress, where you're putting contents together. Now, I want to differentiate between front end. I don't know, you might have heard about front end development, back end development before. Let me just briefly differentiate them and explain how basically they work. Now, if you say you're a front end developer, basically we work with designers. Let me start from that. As part of the slides I had before, I had a little bit of UI UX, but I had to take that out since Jerry will still talk about that. Now, UI UX designers, they create what an application would look like just basically with diagrams, basically with drawings, shapes, and all of that. So you get to see what your final web app would look like. Now, a front-end web developer will take that design and convert it, like would write the necessary code to bring that design to life. So what the designer has done is just basically a design, maybe a picture format that people can see, but the front-end developer now writes the codes to give you something functional, so to speak. Let me explain it using Facebook. If you go on Facebook, let's say you go to the login page. Now that screen you see was actually designed by somebody. A UI UX designer had done that. Then a front-end developer now took that design and tried to replicate it using codes. So at the point where the front-end developer is done, it's basically bringing up what the designer has planned for, but bringing it up to life this time around. But then the main functionality that is involved, I'm talking of the logic now. It's where the backend developer comes in. Sorry, I just saw a question in the chat box. Let me just respond to that before I continue. Yeah, someone is asking, am I a programmer or just a web-based backend developer? Yes, I'm a programmer. I'm a backend developer. Sorry, I'll talk a little bit on this maybe after I'm done. Please permit me if I don't respond to all of your chats till I mostly finish with the teaching, so that I don't get to break my flow. But afterwards, I'll look through the chats and respond to all of our questions. If there are questions that I can respond to immediately. So like I was saying, the front-end developer basically tries to take what the designer has prepared and brings it to life using codes this time around. If you go on Facebook and you try to sign in, if you put your email and password, let's say you put in the wrong password. If you click login, you see that it returns back an error with a message saying invalid username or password. Now that's process of checking through the database to see if your username or your password tallies with or matches, basically, is where the backend developer comes in. So the backend developer really handles a lot of, like the way it is described from the word backend, he handles a lot of things that you don't necessarily see on the user interface, but they have effects on what is rendered to you. So a front-end developer replicates the design from the designer, and the backend developer does all the logic, all the things about what should show and what should not show, who has rights to see this information, and who should not be allowed to see certain screens and all of that. That's how I can basically differentiate them. Now, to make it just clear to us, the backend developer handles the logic of the software application. Now, a full stack developer is someone who does both front end and back end. So if you see somebody saying, oh, I'm a full stack developer, I'm a full stack software engineer, it means he does both front end and back end comfortably. I think that will be all for this. Let me just go straight to the next slide. If you want to start up, like I said, I will advise you to start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So there is this website, W3 Schools. I started with this. If you check there, you'd see a lot of free tutorials that you can actually learn with. The reason why I recommend this is when you go on W3 Schools, you have the privilege to actually write your code and see how it looks in the real sense of it. Like you see it being rendered real time. Then there's also Free Code Camp. It's similar to W3 Schools, only that its own style is a little different. But you can check out these two links if you want to start up something on web development. Then we also have Udemy, Pluralsight, Udacity. These ones are more advanced mostly, and they're not all free. Sometimes you get opportunities to take some free courses on them, but W3 Schools and Free Code Camp, they are both free. But Udemy, Pluralsight, Udacity, they are really not free in most cases. But it's something you should look into if you want to build a career in software development. Okay, I'll rush through this because of time. I'm supposed to wrap up really soon. So digital marketing is a type of marketing that involves the use of internet, online digital technologies to promote products and services. It's a lot different from what we refer to as traditional marketing, which is what we do in the past. Like you use flyers, banners, billboards, and all of that. With digital marketing, you can use your mobile phone and computers to advertise products. You can use them to make sales online. Like it's that easy. You don't have to do all of this traditional stuff that would have done in the past. Then looking at the different aspects of digital marketing, we have video and content marketing. You can actually do marketing on YouTube. You can do copywriting and blogging, podcasting, Quora, Google Analytics. If you're looking to take some course on this, I think you would see more of all of these. Next is SEO and SEM. SEO means search engine optimization, while SEM means search engine marketing. But these basically refer to how you can increase your visibility. Like you have a website, maybe you're selling a product, and you want it to appear high in the results returned by a search engine. Like someone comes to Google and wants to search for your product, maybe you sell shoes. For your product to appear high in the results, you need to do some search engine optimization and search engine marketing. Then we have social media marketing. We have Facebook pages, Facebook groups, Facebook for local business. We have Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Periscope. There are a lot of them you can actually go into. But I think all of these you get to know more when you start up a course in this. Then we have paid marketing and ads. We have Facebook ads. There's what we call retargeting. It's more like somebody has shown interest in a product. Like he just saw a product and took some time on it, then continued doing what he was doing on the internet. Somehow you can actually target such people that have shown maybe a little bit of interest. Some maybe in a later case, they are on another totally different website. And the shoe they saw before on a different website where you already took note of that appears again. And before you know it, such people begin to convert as customers to you. So these are things, this is a case where we talk about retargeting. We have other aspects, pay-per-click, pay-per-call, pay-per-impression. Then lastly, I want to talk about defining your target audience. The beauty of digital marketing is you can actually define your target audience these days. You can define your target audience based on their interests, based on their location, can target them based on their gender, in fact, based on their age. It makes it really easy for you. So you're not sending an advert to somebody that doesn't need it. Like you want to advertise something that's related to young people between the ages of 20 and 30, and your advert is being shown to somebody that's 70, it won't make sense. Like in such cases, you can define your target audience so that the right person that's supposed to see your advert is the one that gets to see it. So these are things you can actually learn with digital marketing. So I put these links here so you can check them out. There's Google Digital Skills, which can help you get a certification from Google on digital marketing, and it's free. Like you can just get the training for free. Then there's Udemy, which you can look into if you want to go a little more advanced. So because of time, I'm not going to be taking the practical session. I guess I'll just skip that. But if there's a way we can have opportunity for that later on, I'll probably look into that. But I believe we've been able to learn a thing or two. I just want to wrap up with this. When you create projects, you try to get honest feedback from professionals, then get certifications. I will still share the slides, so you might go through all of this. I'm just trying to rush because of the time we have. Then you don't watch tutorials like you're watching movies. You watch and practice, like you write codes if you're a developer. As you're watching, you're practicing. Then for a developer, you really necessarily don't have to learn the entire syntax of a language. Good thing is there are a lot of platforms online that help you, that will help you get answers to questions when you're stuck. Then try to build lots of projects. Lastly, I would say sometimes you get to fear a lot because we feel like, we may not be successful in this, but I think you should give yourself a chance. We tend to underestimate our abilities sometimes, but you need to just try, give yourself a shot, and you would see that you do far better than you thought in your head that you could do. All right, thank you very much for listening. I have come to the end of my presentation. So I'll hand over to Jerry while I look through the chats and see what I can respond to later on. Thank you. You can find me on Twitter through these links and Instagram and all of that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wu. Thank you very, very much. Wow, we are grateful. So I put this part to the last to discuss design. That's my life. Honestly. Um, so we have a few minutes to talk about design. Firstly, I want to say what I'm about to share is not will not necessarily or doesn't pertain most to designers. Doesn't pertain to designers alone. It works for every other person, for developers, for UX researchers, um, for product managers and the likes. I'm not here to give you, okay, this is design. No, I'm not here to talk about what design is. What I may talk about basically is how to how to earn more from design, what to do to make you earn more, and how best to sell yourself. That's what I'm going to talk about. Maybe because we plan on organizing mentorship during the course of the year and also classes, online classes. Then we'll be able to talk about and teach design into from foundation to possibly intermediary. Also, some of the questions, if you have any questions, you can drop them. Try not to send them like a direct message also so we can all see them. We would want to be in the follow-up email we'll send, we would be um we'll be sending the answers to the question because we might not have time to answer everything. We'll send the answers to the questions, number one, and also we would send you materials and stuff like because some people someone asked, would there be materials? Yeah, there would be materials that would help. Not necessarily large chunk of materials, but at least to get you started, some to push you to keep you going and stuff like that. So alongside the recording, the link will upload it on our YouTube channel and we'll send you the link also. So to my session, yeah, I don't have any slide to share. A bit personally, I don't have any slide to share. I'm not I had to I had to write some things down because I would like back and forth between us also, but let's try. Let's see how it goes. Um, there are different types of designers. Basically, we have product designers, brand identity designers, that's logo designers. Also, we have illustrators and the likes. But there's one thing that brings virtually all Nigerian designers together. Most of us are broke. That's number one. Most of us don't know how to sell our skill. That's number two. And most of us don't know what to do. Like we only know the skill. We don't know we don't know what those are the major things that we're doing. Okay, so um I'll start like this. To maximize the tech industry in the year 2021, these are some of the things you should do that would help you. Firstly, you need to you need to put out more content. This boils down to the part of marketing, selling yourself, and reaching out to people. Um, a lot of us are gurus in our rooms. I can today I'll just reach out to Dr. V. Hi Dr. V. Yeah, I did this thing. You're like, oh Jerry, it's nice, it's cool. But Dr. V cannot pay for Dr. V cannot actually pay for that thing because possibly he doesn't need it at that time or he's not the right person. So by putting out content, let's say you run a WhatsApp, you have WhatsApp obviously, or you have an Instagram account or you have a Twitter account, put out content, tell the world what you're doing. Share your design, share your well for developers, I'm not too conversant with how you share your code, but I think use GitHub. Share the links to your GitHub post or your GitHub um to your codes rather to some of your projects. Put it out, let people see, let the Olote as they call them, let them see what they want to say. But gradually you create a place in the minds of people that have been your post, thereby saying, okay, wow, Jerry does this thing. Yeah, he talked about it one time. He put maybe one of his work, one of his designs on his WhatsApp status, and I loved it. He's going to do this particular kind of design for me. That way, I've gotten a client. But if I only sent it to a friend that I know, I mean, I, it's only stay between us. It's not going to go anywhere. So that's going to be the main thing. Put out more content, like reach out to people. It's very important. The social media space has really helped a lot of people, and also it has made a lot of people to be redundant in the sense that most of us, or a lot of us, just go like, oh, Twitter trend today, hashtag something, hashtag stuff like that, hashtag top four and all those things, hashtag tule. Yeah, but I mean, we can use it more than that. It's supposed to be used for better things and not just those. Okay, so for secondly, connect with more business-oriented minds. This also boils down to social media to an extent. A lot of tech people also uh, are indoor in the sense that we don't go out. That alone, I'm guilty of it. We don't go out. You don't have a lot of friends like that, and you don't go out to events. You don't go out to meetups apart from design meetups or developers meetup and all those things. I mean, it won't help you. Your fellow peers would necessarily not pay for your work. It is the business oriented minds or the or entrepreneurs that need your work that will pay for it. So if you have an opportunity to go for an event, I mean, if Google, no, not Google, if a radio station organizes an event, not necessarily tech stuff, go there. If you have a business card, share your business card, connect with minds, collect their phone numbers, and well, don't stop them though. Or I mean, relate better with them and make strong connections with them. That way, you are creating a place in their minds. You can't tell me that you need something and you know a friend, a very good friend that does it, and you won't reach out to him first except if you have beef with the guy though, but I feel you will reach out to him first. Okay, so next up, this particular one I'm going to go into will focus mostly on the UI UX part. For UI UX designers here, I believe maybe we have one, two, three, as many as we are in. So a lot of us just, as I said, we focus on the design part. So while designing, yeah, this is going to talk about your skill also. While designing, you don't just design for aesthetics alone. Like you don't design to make it beautiful alone. Design has evolved more than that. You want to run. You decide to be a logo designer. You've gone from you already know your skill to a certain extent. Now the projects you'll be putting out are not just projects to say, okay, I came about this logo and see how fine it is. No, I mean, nobody would buy or would get you because of how fine something is. Business oriented minds will patronize you because what you are doing is solving their problem. So while you are designing, design for sale, mix your design and sale. You run a logo design. Tell them put stuff like mock-ups to it to show how the logo is applied. Put put you can put out UX case studies to tell the world basically or your connections that okay, this is how I came about this logo design. This is how it is expected to solve your business problem because I believe we all know that logo designs are more than just a logo because they are used to create perception in the mind of people. So next up, we'll talk about designing for engineering. For product designers and UX designners here, don't just stay on Figma and design a website, a landing page, and stuff like that. Don't just design it and put it out. Learn no code tools. They are like Dr. Who was talking about something earlier, WordPress. There's another one called what's the name again? Sorry, skip my mind. Webflow. Yeah, the name is Webflow. So learn no code. No code in the sense that you don't need code to learn them to master them. You can create a website today without knowing a single line of code, and it will be as responsive and as good as a website that was developed with code. I'm not trying to bash the developers here, please. I'm sorry. Just telling you a fact. So they are called no code. So learn them, master them, and for example, you are a product designer, sorry, UI UX designer. Someone reaches out to you, Alpha, Jerry, I want to design a website. Okay, yeah, fine. What do you want to do? You go through the talking stage as if you want to get into the relationship with the babe or something. And you've gone through the talking stage, and I mean, you can it's now up to the point of what do I offer this person. If you only do the design part, you might necessarily collect maybe 250K out of something that's supposed to be like 600. But if you can design and you can develop it using a no code tool, you collect those 600. You collect your 1 million, depending on the amount the kind of amount you strike with the person. You learn these tools to not limit yourself. It's really, really important. Once you've learned them, gradually you would notice that you would not you'll be able to maximize or earn more from what you are doing. Yeah, also design for economics, design for human behavior. Design has evolved, as I said earlier. We don't have UI designers, also we have UX designers. These people or these guys don't necessarily design. Theirs is just to do the user research and tell you why this should work and how best it should work. That way, that is how they function. They are not there to tell you, oh, this is it should be fine, like this is how this is the color to use. No, they are not the color guys. They are there to tell you why is this process like this, and stuff like that. That's basically what I'm talking about. So as easy as possible. I don't know if we have I'm a beginner, so as easy as possible. Um Start branding yourself. I know the noise in the year 2020. Hey, branding. Do you know about branding and all those things? A lot of us don't know what branding is. Branding is the process of creating a perception in the minds of individuals about what you do and how best you do it, stuff like that. So if you how to brand yourself, as I said, you shout or you make noise about what you do, post your content and stuff like that. Post them, make noise, immense noise. In fact, I don't see any reason why, as designers or developers, you can't run advertisement, not WhatsApp ads on TVs or on WhatsApp TV. That's what I'm saying. I can't see why you run advertisement, why you can't run advertisement on Instagram, Twitter, that will help you with your target audience. I don't see why. I don't see why. It's somehow, well, we've belittled ourselves to that point. Also, one last thing I would just like to talk about, um design for system and processes. See, I think you would have noticed during the lockdown, especially when it started. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, I do logo design to download application, one mobile application, do let me cast them there, and they will be designing, saying, yeah, I'm a designer." By the time they start using their by the time they put out their work, you will notice that those designs don't actually solve the right problem. um they don't they don't necessarily design for the processes. You are a brand identity designer, or a logo designer, as you call yourself, and I mean, you just put out the logo there, and people are saying, yes, this is logo. I mean, it doesn't work out. But you don't show your process. You don't show why it is useful to someone. I mean, it won't tell the right story. Yeah, I think that's basically everything I have for you. Yeah, that's basically everything I have for you. So, if there are questions, you can drop them in the chat box, so I'll see them and see if I can answer them. But coming, coming. Yeah, I think that's basically everything. That's basically everything. In the sorry, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the class. For those that did not register, or if registered, we have a social media account. You can follow us. I'll put the links and everything in the email that I'll send to you. All details will be there. And also, I will try to sort out for tutorials. Originally, this class was not organized for beginners, most especially the designers, but I need to find the way to put it down to our level so I would understand better. I've been talking for a while. Please, in the chat box or put on your microphone, let me know if you all heard all I've been saying since morning. Yeah, yeah. Did you? Hello.
Yeah, right here.
All right, Dr. V, you heard me.
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm grateful. Good.
Right.
All right. Okay, that's basically everything for today. Honestly, that's basically everything for today. This is just like a snippet of what we would enjoy throughout the year, what we would partake in throughout the year. Throughout the year, we would have sessions like some will be a lot. Most of them will be free, obviously. Free classes that would help. Well, I might not really focus on the development aspect. We are a design community, so we'll focus more on design for now. Maybe as time goes on, we'll branch out to the development aspect. So we would organize classes for designers to come and learn and improve their skills. And also we would also not be focusing on skills, we'll also be teaching you how to sell yourself better. I mean, charge 5 million naira for a logo. It's not a hard thing to come about. Trust me, it's not hard. It's it's not it's easy. Let me just find a way to say it like that. I don't I'm Yeah, it's easy to come about. It's not a hard thing. 5 million naira is too small for for whatever you want to do. And sorry, thank God I remembered. Whatever you do, know that or put it at the back of the mind that every day of work that you put in, you are a day better than someone else. You are a beginner. Yes, you are a beginner. There's no problem in being a beginner. Because I think this is another reason why a lot of people don't put out their work. They say, oh, it's not fine, it's not neat enough. You won't learn. That's a major thing. Because some people will not criticize you. I think that's how some people learn. You won't get the criticism you need to improve your work. You won't learn if you keep it inside and nobody sees it, you won't learn. But still know that okay, I'm a beginner, yes, but the problem comes when you remain a beginner. So continue to put in work every day. You don't necessarily need to design today or design every day of your life or code every day of your life. Read books today, watch movies that will inspire you to do better, to think creatively and stuff like that. So I believe that is everything. Man, we've taken a lot of time today. Taking a lot of time. I expected actually like over 40 people because we had a lot of people that registered, but it's all good. Hopefully we'll continue to do better. Okay, someone is asking here, can one be a developer and also a UI UX designer? Yes, it's possible. Very, very, very possible. It's very, very possible. It's not bad to be greedy. It's not a bad thing to be greedy. But you just need to prioritize one to put your. I mean, if I know you do UI UX, it's better for me to know you do everything. The reason is this. Let me put it like this. The reason is this. It's good to be an expert of one thing than to just know something out of everything and not know a lot from one thing. Let me try to rephrase it. It's good to know one thing very well out of 10 things or out of 3 things than to know just a bit out of those 10 things. The reason is this: there will come a time where your knowledge will be tested on that one thing that you claim to know well. So if you've just been flopping around, learning this, learning that, it might not necessarily help. Might not necessarily help, but still learn the skills. I'm not saying you shouldn't know them. Learn everything, but try to focus on one and rod yourself out in such a way that you'll be able to maximize everything.